They have no anti-aircraft equipment. Their radar is 100% annihilated. We are unstoppable as a military force.
Following the false claims of the U.S. president about the complete destruction of Iran's air defense, a hostile American fighter jet in central Iranian airspace was engaged by a new, advanced air defense system of the IRGC aerospace force, operating under the control of the country's integrated air defense network, and was hit and destroyed. Iran's battlefield response is turning Donald Trump's bold war claims into a growing credibility challenge. Days after dismissing Iran's defenses, Trump now faces a sharp show of force from Tehran's air power. As Iran downs U.S. jets and drones, Trump continues to downplay the military and strategic impact. Even as American aircraft fall, Trump insists peace talks will continue without disruption from the conflict. Mounting U.S. losses are intensifying pressure on Trump, raising questions about urgency for diplomatic exit. In a strong message, U.S. President Donald Trump said the downing of a U.S. jet would not affect negotiations with Iran, according to NBC. Trump reportedly said the situation was war, and dismissed concerns that it would impact ongoing peace efforts. He also declined to share details about search and rescue operations for missing U.S. personnel. Earlier, Trump's national security team had briefed him on the downed U.S. fighter jet, NBC reported. The president was also receiving frequent updates on the ongoing search and rescue operation in Iran, according to the report. This comes as Iran claimed major air defense success, calling it a black day for U.S. and Israeli forces. Iran's Revolutionary Guard reportedly said it had downed U.S. jets, drones, and cruise missiles across multiple regions. Tehran also alleged it shot down 2 MQ-9 drones and destroyed a Hermes drone in key provinces. The U.S. A-10 Warthog was also reportedly hit, with the pilot ejecting safely before the aircraft went down in Kuwait, NBC said. Earlier, Iran claimed it had downed an F-15E two-seater fighter jet, while one pilot was rescued by U.S. forces. Iran also said another U.S. jet was hit and later crashed into the Strait of Hormuz. Following the false claims of the U.S. president about the complete destruction of Iran's air defense, a hostile American fighter jet in central Iranian airspace was engaged by a new, advanced air defense system of the IRGC aerospace force, operating under the control of the country's integrated air defense network, and was hit and destroyed. This fighter jet was completely shattered, and further search operations are ongoing. The warriors of the IRGC aerospace force, in step with the brave fighters of Yemen, in the 91st wave of Operation True Promise 4 in a joint action, struck and destroyed concentration centers of forces and military-industrial companies supporting the army of the Zionist regime in western Tel Aviv and the port of Eilat with long-range missiles. The IRGC Navy, in continuation of this wave, subjected military and infrastructural targets belonging to American Zionist terrorists in the countries south of the Persian Gulf to intense attacks using a large number of ballistic and cruise missiles and combat drones. In the second phase of this wave, the secret gathering place of flight engineers and pilots of American fighter jets outside enemy bases in the UAE was struck with ballistic missiles, inflicting considerable casualties on them. Given the terrorist actions of the criminal enemy and the assassination of citizens of the Islamic Republic of Iran, the espionage, information technology, and artificial intelligence companies that form part of the enemy's terrorist operations infrastructure were also targeted, the Hebrew space infrastructure of the American company Amazon and, simultaneously, the infrastructure of the American company Oracle based in the UAE was struck. From early this morning, the warriors of the IRGC Navy and Aerospace Force, in the 92nd wave of the subsequent True Promise 4 operations, launched several combined attacks on radar systems and naval equipment. In the first part of this operation, the concentration point of American amphibious vessels in the port of Ash-Shuwaik was smashed using ballistic missiles. In another part, the long-range R327 three-dimensional early warning radar located at the Jabal ad-Dukan radar site in Bahrain was hit and destroyed in a drone attack. Continuing these attacks, with the successful launch of a ballistic missile, the Ramat David Air Base in the southeast of Haifa was also targeted. In another section of the IRGC aerospace missile offensive, and in line with the tactic of sustained launches, using Khorramshahr missiles with multiple warheads, more than 50 points in the heart of Tel Aviv and the occupied territories were also effectively struck. The Army of the Islamic Republic of Iran, in response to U.S. Army attacks on the country's infrastructure, from this morning has targeted equipment depots and accommodation sites of American terrorists in Jordan, the location of U.S. armored forces in Arif Jan, Kuwait, and the largest aluminum factory in Bahrain with its combat drones. The defenders of our country's skies in the Army and the IRGC shot down several cruise missiles in central and western regions, and 2 attacking drones in the southern regions of the country. Also, an advanced enemy fighter jet was hit south of Keshem Island and crashed between Hengam and Keshem Islands, sinking into the depths of the forever Persian Gulf waters. Iran claimed to have shot down 2 advanced U.S. fighter jets on day 35 of the war, using the dramatic announcement to showcase its air defenses and imply that American air power is now vulnerable in its skies. Iranian officials reportedly claimed that one of the downed jets was an F-35, with the IRGC boasting that newly deployed, more advanced air defense systems managed to hit the stealth aircraft in central Iran on April 3. The downed F-35 was said to belong to the U.S. Lakenheath Squadron, according to IRGC statements cited by Press TV, which added that the jet was completely destroyed in the crash and that the pilot's fate remained unknown. Iran also claimed that the second jet brought down was another advanced U.S. fighter, reinforcing its message that even top-tier American aircraft can now be intercepted and destroyed over Iranian territory. The jet was reported to have been completely destroyed on impact after crashing inside Iran, with state media heavily publicizing the wreckage as proof of what they called a major battlefield achievement. However, later reports from within Iran revised the story, saying that the crashed U.S. warplane was actually an F-15E instead of an F-35, creating confusion over what was really shot down and casting doubt on Tehran's initial claims. Meanwhile, Iran claimed to have shot down another jet over the Persian Gulf, using the announcement to showcase its air defenses and to challenge U.S. and Israeli claims of air superiority in the region. Iran said the enemy jet was struck and crashed between Hengam and Keshem Islands, describing the incident as a clean interception that ended with the aircraft plunging into the waters of the Gulf. The U.S. military Central Command did not immediately confirm the downing of the jet, and has repeatedly stated that all American fighter aircraft are accounted for whenever Tehran has made similar claims in recent weeks. In March, Iran said it had downed 3 F-15E jets in Kuwait, while the U.S. maintained that the aircraft were actually brought down by Kuwaiti air defenses in a friendly fire incident from which all crew members safely ejected. Iran's forces now claim to have so far downed 2 F-35s, 1 F-18, 2 F-16s, and 4 F-15s, figures that dramatically inflate Tehran's battlefield success and are sharply disputed by Washington and its allies. The IRGC said, quote, following the false claim of the liar U.S. president regarding the complete destruction of the IRGC's air defense moments ago, an advanced enemy fighter jet was hit in the south of Keshem Island by the modern advanced air defense system of the IRGC Navy, under the control of the country's integrated air defense network. Unquote. Earlier, Trump had said Iran's naval and aerial forces had suffered debilitating damage, insisting that sustained U.S.-Israeli strikes were steadily eroding Tehran's ability to threaten American and allied assets.
My first preference was always the path of diplomacy, yet the regime continued their relentless quest for nuclear weapons and rejected every attempt at an agreement. For this reason, in June, I ordered a strike on Iran's key nuclear facilities, an Operation Midnight Hammer. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. Those beautiful B-2 bombers performed magnificently. We totally obliterated those nuclear sites. The regime then sought to rebuild their nuclear program at a totally different location, making clear they had no intention of abandoning their pursuit of nuclear weapons. They were also rapidly building a vast stockpile of conventional ballistic missiles and would soon have had missiles that could reach the American homeland, Europe, and virtually any other place on Earth. Iran's strategy was so obvious. They wanted to produce as many missiles as possible, and they did, with the longest range possible, and they had some weapons that nobody believed they had. We just learned that out. We took them out. We took them all out so that no one would really dare stop them. And their race for a nuclear bomb, a nuclear weapon like nobody's ever seen before. They were right at the doorstep. For years, everyone has said that Iran cannot have nuclear weapons, but in the end, those are just words if you're not willing to take action when the time comes. As I stated in my announcement of Operation Epic Fury, our objectives are very simple and clear. We are systematically dismantling the regime's ability to threaten America or project power outside of their borders. That means eliminating Iran's Navy, which is now absolutely destroyed, hurting their Air Force and their missile program at levels never seen before, and annihilating their defense industrial base. We've done all of it. Their Navy is gone, their Air Force is gone, their missiles are just about used up or beaten. Taken together, these actions will cripple Iran military, crush their ability to support terrorist proxies, and deny them the ability to build a nuclear bomb. Our armed forces have been extraordinary. There's never been anything like it militarily. Everyone is talking about it, and tonight I'm pleased to say that these core strategic objectives are nearing completion.